Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Mr. Hurricane, and this is the Rhett Sheffield undrafted quarterback experience. We have turned Rhett Sheffield into a pretty good quarterback in this series, and now for the second time, we begin the playoffs with Rhett Sheffield. I don't know how. Every year he's had 9 interceptions. That was pointed out in the comments last episode. He seems to always end up with 9 picks. But Sheffield's coming off a pretty good season. Maybe it's not as good as the one he had a couple years ago, but it's close. And today we have a chance to end this series if we can get the Super Bowl win. This is our team here in year 4. If this doesn't work out, I do have a couple ideas for year 5 of the series. But overall, I think this team could very well get it done. Sheffield's gotten a lot better, and I don't know, I just have a good feeling about this season and what we were able to do while winning the division here in the NFC South. But to go the distance, we have to go all the way from the wild card round, starting against the Rams. Let's get this underway then. We'll see if we can defeat the LA Rams, who start by going backwards 26 yards or 16 yards. You know, great drive for them. We win 3 and out though, so we're not a whole lot better. But I've been so happy to see so many of you enjoy this experiment so far, especially lately. The series has been getting a lot of attention here. So thank you to all the new viewers here. If you haven't already done so, definitely subscribe to the channel. I want to do more experiments like this. I normally just do kind of straightforward franchises, but I really enjoy just trying to see what you can pull off in Madden and do some different things. And I have other ideas I'm very excited about, and I'm hoping we can wrap this up actually pretty soon, because I know what I want to do next, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of you that have been watching the channels for a long time will definitely get a kick out of it, I feel. And we're a step closer with a lead here in the first quarter. Uh-oh, this is trouble. In the second quarter, things are going wrong, and the Los Angeles Rams now have a 10-point lead. But here comes Rhett Sheffield and the offense. Into field goal range, we get a first down from McCaffrey. We're not getting a lot from the running game, unfortunately. And we're able to get inside the 10 for a McCaffrey touchdown. There we go, Brian Burns. He has 2 sacks in this game, but somehow they're able to convert. In the fourth quarter, we got to make something happen, defense. Come on. To the 5. Touchdown, Rams. We're down 10. We're not giving up, though. Rhett Sheffield and the offense. Wow, 30-yard score, McCaffrey. Rams are driving, though, using up a lot of time. This has to be a field goal drive. They're down to the 1. Too easy. Running out of time here, but if we score quick, don't use our timeouts, we have a shot. Herndon 6, knocked away again. Okay, so we kick the field goal. Holland back, and his mentorship from Matthew Stafford make it a touchdown game. But on the first play of the next drive, Rams get 8, and Jared Goff runs for the win. Well, that's the season. We can't get it done in 4 years. Sheffield did fine, but it looks like the run defense really let us down today. I do want to work on the run defense, but I also want to work on our running game. Like with McCaffrey, we should be getting a lot more yardage on the ground, and I've got to fix that for next year. The Cleveland Browns have won the Super Bowl this year. Cam Newton and the Giants again come close. But now it's time for another offseason. And one change I do plan to make is to get us in a 4-3 defense. I just haven't had much luck this year with 3-4 defenses and getting the most out of pass rushers. So I want to go 4-3 and consider tagging Brian Burns. Regression. Kuechly lost 21 points. He's down to an 87. Loss of 18 for Matt Paradis. Trey Turner loses 8. I do have to look at this offensive line, I think, this year. And one thing I thought about was tagging Brian Burns to trade for offensive line help. That might be one of the better ways to upgrade, depending on how free agency looks. I'll wait until I see that. Oh, poor Kirk Cousins. We have some cap space to play with, though. I wouldn't mind starting this by re-signing Holton Hill. Solid corner. He's under a 3-year contract now. I absolutely do not want Matthew Stafford again. No. We're going to let Curtis Samuel hit the open market. I like the addition of McCole Hardman this year, and I already have him under contract. Samuel's about to hit regression, so we're actually going to let him test and tag Brian Burns. $20 million. At the very least, I need one offensive line starter this year, probably a center. And then from there, third receiver on the offensive side. When we go defense now, we have like no depth at a lot of these positions in the front seven. So I have to look at basically everything here. And other than that, I like where a lot of things are. So let's just see if there's a chance to make something happen on the open market. 48 million cap space, and David DeCastro's available. I'm okay moving someone to center or just getting Travis Frederick. All right, the opportunities are there. I really need to win this, Travis Frederick. I hope you know that. I need to win this bid. Not sure if this will work. Telvin Smith wants a lot of money. Maybe it's because he's an X factor, but he's a scheme fit, and I want another off-ball linebacker. I think I'm going to give an offer here to Akeel Johnson, who is a speedy deep ball receiver. We had a lot of success last year with McCole Hardman, and I'd like to add more speed to the offense. And then, of course, like I said, I need some depth along our front seven, so I'll try to add some younger players too. Yes, we got Travis Frederick. That's the only contract accepted so far. Okay, Akeel Johnson got some bids now from other teams, so we're withdrawing our offer there. And the Steelers here, trying to get Dave Fenner. He's a scheme fit. I think I want to try making this work. There are other receiver options, though. If I want to bring in a veteran, I'll give an offer to Robbie Anderson. Anderson, Smith, except Fenner ends up rejecting. I did top the Steelers offer, but I lose that one. So overall, nice start to free agency, I'd say. And now picking up the 5th-year option on Oliver Ellison. Of course we will. We also have to decide on Malik Melton. This one's tough. He hasn't played a ton for us. McCaffrey is getting older. We can probably pick up the option, though, for now. I don't think it'll be super expensive. I wouldn't say receiver is a huge need, and we do have Rashad Clemens now entering his 2nd season, and I'd like to develop him a bit. But I don't know what else I want to do to try making the offense better. We added Travis Frederick, so again, we have a high-rated offensive lineman, highest rated of the series possibly. On the defensive side, love our front four. Hope Burns bounces back. Could maybe use a corner as a backup to maybe take over for Holton Hill eventually. I don't know. Like, we could play week 1 with this roster right now. I might have to look at trading up. There are some options. How about LaMichael Boone at tight end? Wow. Great combine, great skill set. That'd be a fun way to go. Maybe another offensive lineman. We could also just look for BPA on the defensive side. Let's get through a few picks here as Cordavius Pruitt goes number 1. And then Pat Conway, number 2. The top receivers are gone, and now the top tight end, LaMichael Boone. So we're not upgrading those spots. Alright, I think I know what I want to do now, and I don't think I have to trade up to do it. Tight ends are going early. Receivers are going early. Close to our pick already. And so far, so good. Seems like a lot of good offensive players are going, not as much defensively. And we're on the clock. We are going to select with our first pick, Alejandro Martinez, the linebacker from USC. He has early round 1 talent. He dominated the combine. And he is going to be one of the players that maybe starts and possibly could replace Luke Kuechly because he can't play forever. Martinez, 85 speed, 86 tackle, a few coverage upgrades, and he will be set. I like it. I don't mind going offensive line now, especially with an early round 1 talent, Tom Wallner from Georgia. We have a 76 overall hidden dev guard now. And he has okay strength, not great, which will hurt the running game a little bit. But all around his ratings are solid, and you can't get too picky, I think, with offensive linemen. You just try to get the best ones out there, and Wallner certainly is. I would like to go receiver right here. I'm intrigued by Alan Long, who's one of the better route runners in the class, and he has 67 overall. So definitely needs some development. He runs good routes, but the catching is definitely a concern. Hopefully it's fixable. Wow, so much of my board just went away after getting through the 3rd round, and we still have 6 selections to make? Well, I drafted a defensive tackle that had a top 3 that I liked. Luther De Carvalho has hidden dev at 60 overall. Alright, I'm interested. Maybe this will help our ground game. We're drafting Cole Bird, one of the top fullbacks in the draft. We haven't had a fullback on the roster in a while. Maybe this helps. Today, I'm happy to sign backup quarterback Aaron Rodgers to the roster. Here was Rhett Sheffield's preseason, 5 touchdowns, not too bad. What interests me is Malik Melton here at running back and the success he had. He's an 80 overall. He should be a pretty good running back even if given the starting opportunity. I don't know if I should have interest in trading him or what, but that's an interesting development as well. Let's get to the real games now. We start the year by putting up some good points, but we allowed 33. Cam Newton is now in Atlanta, and he defeats us. Why? Why, Cam? Whoops, I had Aaron Rodgers start this game. Oh, and we still lost. Maybe with Sheffield we would have won. I forgot to flip that back for the real games now. My bad. Oh, here we go again. We're 0-2 to start the season. We just can't get consistent with this team. The only thing that's consistent is Rhett Sheffield's interception count. Zeke, 161. Man, this defense has a lot of talent, but they are really young. This is perfect. Look at all the first round corners. I know what we're doing in the first round this coming draft. And how about this? A chance to upgrade Mecole Hardman. He didn't have a good game last week, but he still gets the chance to break out in week 3. He can certainly pull this off. 0-3 despite another good offensive day. Come on, defense. We allowed 6 passing touchdowns. How are we supposed to win with these conditions? Did Hardman get his stats? 6 for 74. That's not going to get it done. Clemens had a touchdown at least. I don't know why this defense is playing so poorly. Like, I've done a lot to upgrade that side of the football. New injury. What do we have here? We lose DJ Moore for 8 weeks. Oh boy. This is bad. Let's talk about how bad this secondary has been. We just allowed 6 touchdowns. We're starting 3 young players in the secondary, 2 safeties and a corner, so they need to step it up. There's our first win, and the offense is still putting up points, even missing DJ Moore. 3 touchdowns for Rhett Sheffield. The running game, isn't doing a lot, and our run defense has been awful. For receiving, yes, McCaffrey, 94 yards in the air. Chris Herndon had a nice game. And 2 scores for Mecole Hardman. Now, one thing that's going to be trouble this year is the Atlanta Falcons. They now have Cam Newton, and they're 4-0. For the first time this year, we upgrade Rhett Sheffield. It is taking a lot more experience. It's hard to improve where he's at right now, but here's a chance. Let's go. Strong arm. to 73 overall. And that'll boost up awareness, break sack, medium accuracy. The accuracies are probably pretty set now. And he's the number 30 quarterback, so he's come a long way. And it's the rest of the team kind of letting him down right now. Not McCole Hardman, though. He's been pretty good, and now he's suddenly our number 1 receiver. Here are his ratings at the moment. The number 44 ranked receiver in the league. And he's been pretty important to the team these last couple years. 2 wins in a row as Denver only managed 9 points. That's more like it. 2 touchdowns on the day for Rhett Sheffield. As we did run the ball okay, we had over 100 yards total. The run defense, though, was much improved. Noah Fant had a big day. Chris Herndon found the end zone. And Malik Melton did as well in the passing game. Oliver Ellison had 2 sacks. I still don't think we're getting much out of Brian Burns. Now McCole Hardman is frustrated. Almost upgrading him, now frustrated. Yes, you're the number 1 receiver. We'll get you the football. Now we get a chance to upgrade Ellison. Okay, the defense needs some boosts. Can Oliver Ellison get us a nice superstar upgrade? We have now won 3 games in a row, and we're back to 3-3. We did well against Patrick Mahomes. The defense, thankfully, is playing much better. Rhett Sheffield over 300 yards again. McCaffrey running the football very well. And I think we may have gotten the goal accomplished, but Mahomes' rushing yards probably pushes them over. Yeah, that's over 75, so we'll have to see if Ellison got any good stats then. McCaffrey had 85 yards. Hardman found the end zone. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to get him morale boost. Ellison had a sack, 4 tackles. Looks like he misses out by 1 stat. And despite our 3 wins in a row, we're still in 4th place. Why is the NFC South so good now? There we go. He is happy. All you got to do is get him a touchdown, and everything's good to go. 1,000 experience even for McCole Hardman. We have won 4 games in a row, but even here, I'm not sure where we are at the trade deadline. Are we buyers? Are we sellers? Do we just stay put? McCaffrey, 63 yards. Melton had a touchdown. Nice day for Rashad Clemens, and McCole Hardman had one of his better days of the year. We haven't had that big game, though, or that long catch, it seems, like we did a year ago. Brian Burns, 1.5 sacks. Where's he at this season? 3.5. I don't know. I'd like to get something for him in a trade, maybe a tag and trade after this season. This was kind of my last little test here to see if we can turn his production around, but while it's better, it's not up to the level that it needs to be. Time to look at some new deals. I have signed Bart Snow to a 3-year contract. I think he'll just be a solid tackle I don't want to move on from. Daniel Finney has also not given us the sack production that we want to see. We're trying to get pass rush, and despite good ratings, we're not getting good production. So I don't know what to do with those 2 players right now. I decided to make no deals at the deadline, and the win streak continues against the Buccaneers. This NFC South division has been strange this year, and it's getting even more strange with us getting toward the top of the division now. 303 yards for Sheffield, 2 scores. We did run the ball okay, and Rashad Clemens, he's had a couple good games in a row now. 91 yards and a touchdown. Hardman, 84 and a touchdown. Pretty happy with all that. We're still not getting much pass rush. I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm thinking about bringing in some new edge rushers next year. The win streak continues, and the offense didn't even have that much yardage. The defense has been a lot better the last 4 or 5 games that I've been simulating. Sheffield's actually coming off maybe his worst game of the season, but we get it done, and now we're just a game back of Atlanta. I never saw that coming, the way we started 0-3 and the defense was terrible. Suddenly now it's an interesting season. here we are, second place in the NFC South, 6 straight victories. Can it continue? We just lost 21-3. We scored 3 points. 2 picks for Sheffield, another disappointing game for him. We are now going to get DJ Moore back, but we could have definitely used his skills in this game. Wow. We didn't do a thing in the passing game whatsoever. Couldn't even intercept Jameis Winston? Yeah, this defense ain't good enough. Time to return DJ Moore, though, and that should be a nice help. We did really well without him, so I expect us to do quite well now that he's returned. But wow, this schedule has been tough. We've had so many good opponents. It just never lets up. Come on, now we're struggling. Carolina loses 24-16 against Green Bay, and Blake Bortles picked off twice. What's going on with Sheffield? He's playing horribly. Thankfully, we get a win that helps keep our playoff chances alive. We defeat Atlanta, so we're still a game back of them in the division, but now they don't own a tiebreaker over us. Well, they might, but it won't be because of the head-to-heads against us. Rashad Clemens seems to be having a pretty decent season. 6 catches, 87 yards. He's had a number of games this year now where he's been our best receiver. So that's some good news. Like I said, our schedule is ridiculous this year. Every team has a winning record, it feels like. Another win for Carolina. 28 points now. Looks like a better day for Sheffield. 4 touchdowns. Haskins was intercepted 3 times. McCaffrey really couldn't get things going. Another bad day for the ground attack. But McCole Hardman, 2 touchdowns, 121. David Moore had 119. What about DJ Moore? 2 for 24. Not seeing much from him. Clemens did pretty well, though. I saw we got all those interceptions. Those were from Whitaker, Telvin Smith, and Tony Smart. We're still behind Atlanta and tied with New Orleans. I checked the rest of the NFC, but we've got to take care of things in our division first. We have the Saints in Week 17. Let's hope we finish strong. There we go, upgrading Rhett Sheffield again. I'd like to go with Improviser this time. Still a 73 overall. We increase his throw under pressure. That's pretty cool. We're making this way too interesting. Now we lose to Philadelphia to drop to 8-6 on the season. Sheffield does find the end zone, but we don't do a whole lot. It's been a good year of upgrading, though, for Rashad Clemens. I'm glad that he's making the most of his chances this season. And we get the medium route running, the catching boost here. Still want to see what we can do with his skill set. We're able to sign Travis Frederick to a 1-year deal. I don't mind doing this now, even if he regresses. I just don't want to lose him to another team if he doesn't retire. I'll purchase the O-line retirement package, though, for the coach. We defeat the New York Giants, so we have 9 wins now. 2 scores for Sheffield, McCaffrey 85 yards. We have our chance now, perhaps, to make the playoffs. Cole Bird scored a touchdown. That's what I'm talking about. So why don't we go take a look now at the NFC playoff picture. We have the Saints in Week 17. I'm guessing if we win, we go to the playoffs. If we lose, probably not. Let's take a look, though. The Packers have clinched a spot. The Bears are getting a wild card. The Falcons have won the division. Cowboys and Seahawks have taken care of theirs. We have the head-to-head here. We can beat New Orleans. If we win, we're in. Easy as that. You have got to be kidding me. 35-0. How do you lose that bad? Sheffield, come on, man. Why did you just have the worst game of your career? Why here? Come on. That's how it's gonna end for this season? Are you kidding me? 4.5 sacks? That's probably more than Brian Burns had this year. No playoffs for us. We don't make it. Unbelievable. What a ride that season was. The Ravens and Cowboys will play in this year's Super Bowl, and we'll just take a look at our stats today. I was planning on going into the game too if we made it to the playoffs. I wanted to get into that wild card game and at least see how that went. I can't believe we lost 35-0. Come on, man. The Saints made the playoffs. We were that close, though, with a pretty bad point differential. We still had one of the lowest scoring offenses in the league. Alright, we're not getting much out of the ground game. Sheffield, I feel like he had a worse season. Why don't we take a look at the numbers now and what they tell us. 21st ranked offense. The number 20 defense. So not really above average at anything here. 30th in points scored, along with 9th in points allowed. So that's the area we were pretty good. We were toward the bottom in passing touchdowns, close to the bottom in rushing touchdowns even. How about just rushing offense? Nowhere near as good as I think we should be. We're also kind of middle of the pack when it comes to pass rush, which feels like is a lot worse than where we should with our roster. Here are the stats. 14 interceptions this year for Rhett Sheffield, so a career high in that department. On the ground, McCaffrey just over 1,000 yards. Not giving us elite production, just pretty good numbers. For the passing game, McCole Hardman again leads us with 9 touchdowns, 718 yards, no long plays this year. Rashad Clemens wasn't bad, and DJ Moore missed much of the season, so his production is way down. How about the offensive line? Okay, I think we're moving on from Taylor Moton. Like, at some point, the production, good or bad, you trust it over ratings, and Moton is not getting the job done. How many sacks allowed does he have over the past few seasons? 18 this year, 18 2 years ago. I think we have to move on. For sacks, our leader was Oliver Ellison. Burns gave us 4, Finney 4.5. I don't know what to do about edge rusher, but I think we have to bring in at least one new player this offseason and try to switch things up. Sheffield's not going to be upgrading a whole lot more in his career. His development isn't rising. It's never gotten past normal. He hasn't finished high enough in those stat categories for it to make a difference. So this is where he is. And I don't know, we probably missed the chance to get him to star or superstar dev. He's been all right. Better last season. But I've got to figure out if there's something more I can try with this offense. And the defense too. Both were a little underwhelming this year. What do you think this team is missing? What can get us to the top of the division and the chance to consistently compete for a Super Bowl? What does this team need? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll be on to episode 6 soon. I want to complete this. I want to win the challenge and move on to the next thing. But this is proving to be pretty difficult. So that's going to end this episode, everybody. Hope you had a good time with it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be here with episode 6 this coming week. Have a great day.